Welcome back, students. Let's get quickly started with Django, right? Some of you have asked questions that how do you build your own templates? What if we don't want to import a template and we want to use our own? So that's very easy. We'll have to use the same static route that we created, right? I recorded yesterday's lecture, but as usual, I forgot to unmute the recorder. It was on mute. Let me check whether that's okay. Today it's not on mute, right? So that's why we could not publish it on Monday. Alright, so let's get quickly started with Django. So I'll just, okay, we don't have anything here. So let's quickly get started. Okay, right. So the first things first, that we know that in settings.py, our static files will be accessed by this keyword static, and they will be stored in this directory HTML files of the project, not of the app, right? Number one, not app. The directory of the templates directory and HTML files directory should be in the root folder. Like if I open the folder and I show you, right? And if I show you this, so this is Django projects, and this is the project that we created, travel, and we have some HTML files here, all right? And templates is here, all right? And then we have travel app. All right, and the templates directory and also the HTML files directory should be in the root directory, right? So that's point number one. Point number two, what I want some specific files. I don't want to import or copy and paste anything. I want to create my own. So I'll directly go to HTML files folder. I'll create some folders. I call this as CSS for CSS files, and I will call this as imgs for storing images, and JS for storing maybe JavaScript or anything like that. So for example, 3 files are initially pretty good, right? And now what I do, now you can see all the folders are available here. I'll go to templates and create the basic template, right? So first I want to create the master page, because I want to reuse the reusable sections that we have to reuse in HTML. So I want to reuse sections of HTML. For that I will create masterpage.html. So let's first form a master page. Let's first form our own template, the template that we'll be using in the entire web application. And for that, I'll just click this note of okay, and then I'll hit enter, and then we have this here. So I'll say my travel guide. So this is going to be my title of the web application. All right, and I'll refresh it. Nothing is going to happen because we have to form URLs. So I'll directly go to URLs, and you can see that when you type nothing at all, you directly go to the root and you access travelapp.urls. So I'll exactly go to travel app and open my urls.py, and I'll say whenever I just put test here, so test URL, whenever I hit test, I am going to execute a function inside views known as test. So I don't have any function here. So let me define a function, and I call this as let's say test, right? So it's going to be test, and I go inside the templates and I render masterpage, master, masterpage.x or masterpage.html. Right now, if I go and refresh it, now you get my travel guide. So now this master page is active, right? And the second thing I'll do, I'll go to my HTML files, but this is my static directory, and I'll click here in CSS, and I'll say I want to make a new file, and I call this as styles.css. So I made my first CSS file. In order to include this CSS file, what will I do? I'll go inside my head section and I will type link relate to. I want a link between the style file and the design file, which is my master page here. So what type of link do you want? It's a relative link of style sheet, right? And what is the type? The type is text/css, right? And where is the file stored? I will say the file is actually stored in the static directory. So I'll use static, right? And inside static directory, it is in folder CSS. Because whenever you mention static, you're actually mentioning HTML files, and it is in CSS folder, CSS styles, and the name is style.css. And to make sure that this file is included, right? If it's not working in yours, try and clear the cache or the history. So I'll go to styles, because you can see that this master page has one head section and one body section, right? And I have to close down this styles tag. It's a self-closing tag, and this is how you close the tag, and this is how you open the tag, because HTML is a tags language, hypertext markup language. And now it's done. In order to see that it is basically included, what are we going to do right here is first we are going to target the body section. So I'll say body, and I'll say background color red, just to see whether the CSS file is included or it's not included. I have to mention static block as well. So we have an error here. Alright, so we have not invalid block tag. That static is actually an invalid block tag. So what do you do here? I will go on top of the website and I will open scriptlets and I'll say load static. Right, so I'm loading static here. So let me try again, and now you can see static has been loaded. The only difference is that we do not have the impact, which is the body background color red. We're not having that. So for that I will hit down Control and Alt and hit refresh. Control Shift Alt refresh. So it's not loaded. Go to page source and check what is the problem. Static slash, so you can see it's not found. That is where the problem lies, right? So let me see what went wrong here. So I'll use static and I will close down this static here. So link relative style sheet type is equal to text/css, and the folder is, it is not style.css, actually it's styles.css, so it's spelling mistake. Now let's refresh, and red is loaded, means you have been able to create a link between your page and a CSS file, as simple as anything. So done. What else is required? Right, so in case you want to create your own template, now I'll go to master page and I'll target, I'll say I will make the home direct, I'll make the main wrapper div. I call this as wrapper, you can call it anything, right, because it sounds better, because you are going to wrap up all the web page design here in this wrapper div. What is div? It's a section, it's a division, whatever you may call it. So let me go quickly and style this. I'll say body. I don't want to do anything with body, but yeah, entire web page, my body section and my HTML section will have a single font, right, and it's going to be Arial, and the default font size is going to be 15 pixels. I may increase and I may decrease depending on the need of an R, right? And I'll give body a background color, and to give a background color, Google hexadecimal color picker. You can choose hexadecimal colors as well, right, or you can choose gray, whatever you want to choose. So I'll just choose a bit lighter color, so which is this. I'll copy this hexadecimal color right here, right, and I'll go and check whether the color is applied to the body. Yes, it is applied to the body. And now I will target the main div that I have just made, wrapper div, because it's an ID. ID is called with hash wrapper. Why hash? Because it's an ID, and I can say background color is white. You can just type white, and you can say width. I'll give it a width of, let's say, about 95%, and I'll give it a height. Give minimum height so that maximum height is adjusted automatically. Minimum height means minimum it's this much, and maximum depending on the content. If it changes, the height will also change. I'll say 750 pixels, the minimum height, and let's go ahead and see. Alright, so width is 95% and minimum height is this. So why isn't this applied to wrapper? So I'll just save this, and I'll go ahead and save this as well. So it should have, now you can clearly see a div has come. It's not coming in the center. In order to take it to the center, you can say margin is automatic. So once you give margin auto, it is going to be in the center. So if you want to increase side from the top side, and some space from the bottom side and some space from the top side, you go in the body and say padding top. For example, I want 20 pixels padding from the top, space from the top. And the moment you give it, now you can see that there is 20 pixels padding from the top, and if you want the same padding from the bottom, we can say padding on the bottom. So that is again going to be 20 pixels. So whatever you want, it depends on the style you are creating. If you want border, yes, you can set a border of your wrapper. You can say border It takes 3 parameters. So border takes 3 properties. One is the color. I will use the color right here. Border should be slightly darker than the background color. So I'll choose slightly darker than the background color. Hash. And the pattern is going to be solid. And the thickness, I'll say it's going to be 1 pixels thick. Now you can see the border has come, right? And it's maybe a bit darker than my likings. I'll make it a bit lighter. So let's go on and choose the code, type the code and paste it. Now it's a bit lighter, it looks much better. If you want to give round appearance, so I can say border dash radius, and I'll say I want 6 pixels of border radius, means it is going to give round shaped corners. Now you can see corners a bit round shaped. So this is the basic structure of the website, absolutely ready. And that too using Django, not importing a template, just by creating your own template. And I can create header, H-E-A-D-E-R, header. Now the website is having a header section, and my website will have section, and I give it an ID because you can have as many sections as you want in a web page. So giving every section a particular ID helps. I'll call this as main content. And I can have a footer. Alright, so let's style all 3 of them: header, footer and main section. Header and footer are called directly, we can call them with parent names. I can say that wrapper has header in it, so I want to style header. So this is the bracket starts here and the styling ends here. And second, we are having wrapper and it has footer. Right, so the styling of footer starts here and ends here, and we have in between them we have hash. Now why do you use hash? Main content, because you have given a main content and ID here. Main content is the ID of the section. ID is called with hash, you know that. So I'll call main content and let's start styling. I'll say, hey header, you mind if I give you the width of 100% of the parent, which is the total 95%, because header is inside wrapper, right? When I say 100%, it's actually 100% of the wrapper. And I'll say height is let's say about 150 pixels, right? And let me give it background just to check an alignment. So I'll say background red, whether the border whether the header has come or not. Now it has actually come, so just let me get rid of this background color red. Instead I'll give border 1 pixel solid, and I'll give it a color also. The color is going to be as same as the border of the wrapper. So I'll copy paste it, and now see, but it has done actually, if I zoom in, it has overlapped the borders, right? So to overcome that, I'll say, okay, now the wrapper already has borders. Why do you give again border to header? Right, but the header does not have bottom border, so I'll say instead of giving border means right, left, top, bottom, I'll target only bottom. I'll say only give border to bottom so that overlapping is stopped. Now you can see no more overlapping. Now we have a border given to the bottom section right here. So I'll say height is 130 pixels to be more precise. Looks much better. Alright, so let's go and style main content. I'll say main content is going to have the width of 96%, and it's going to be again, it's a content div. Content may increase and content may decrease, so I'll go with minimum height rather than going with height. I'll say 550 pixels. It is going to be the minimum height, and I'll say background. I'll choose any background, so because I have to just get rid of this, so I'll choose wheat. Now let's go and see the content. Yeah, now the content div has come here. Let's give it a bit of padding. So I'll say padding 10 pixels because I don't want content to come with the corners, and it's not coming in the center. To make it in the center, I'll give margin auto so that it comes in the center. Now it comes in the center. It's still overlapped with this top here, so I'll say margin top. I want you to, margin is outside. Now when I say margin, it's outside. When I say padding, it's inside. Padding is inside, margin is outside. So I'll say margin. I want to give margin top. And how much do you want? Margin top is going to be, for my likings, 20 pixels. It comes down 20 pixels, absolutely fine. And I will also give margin bottom of 20 pixels so that it comes in the center. Right, absolutely fine now. And maybe I'll increase, I'll say 98% height width. 98% looks good. Maybe 97 will be much better. So this is my content div, absolutely ready. So I don't need any background here, right? So background is not required. I'll just get rid of background. Now I know that the alignment is perfect. I use background to just align it properly. And now we have footer. I can say width, and I can say width 100%, and I can use height 220 pixels, and background color is going to be something, maybe you may choose it from the color picker, or you may choose it from here, whatever you like. All right, I can choose dark gray. All right, so background color is dark gray, so now you can clearly see my background color. Or I can even choose, instead of dark, I can choose LIGHT, light gray, or you can choose it from here as well. Alright, whatever background do you want, so I'll choose it here, RGB, which is red, green, blue. Now you can see it's a bit lighter, or you can go to the HTML color picker and say I am choosing my background color, which is absolutely this. I can choose it now like this. Go ahead, refresh it, and this is the background color, and maybe border. In this case, I want to give border top 1 pixel solid. Right, and I'll choose dark gray, which is CCCCC, which is dark gray. Okay, or maybe I have to choose something else here. Let me choose a bit. Why am I going towards the red side? So let me choose the footer color again. Okay, I've chosen the background color. Save the file, refresh it. Where is it? Right, so now my footer is also absolutely ready. Here also, to avoid overlapping, I've only given border top. Here, to avoid overlapping, I've given border bottom. So now it's just forming a template, so designs can matter. You can create a better design, or you can create a worse design. It depends on your individual choice. Right, then if I want a logo here, so I'll go to my master page. Inside the head section, I will say, hey, I need an image, which is IMG SRC. But is there any image? No, there's no image. I just downloaded a logo, which is this NIIT logo. Alright, so I will copy this logo and take it to the HTML files IMGS directory. Right, so it's here, so I will rename it. I call this as logo.png. PNG means it's a transparent file. Alright, then we're done. And I'll say source is equal to, where is the image? So I will say the source actually is static. Go to the static directory. Why static? Because you have to go to HTML files. It is the static directory. And I will say inside static directory, go to the folder IMGS and find logo.png in here. Right, and close this static content down. And on top, yes, you'll have to mention load static. If you don't mention load static, let's see what happens if in case you do not mention it. And let's close the image tag. Every tag should have a closing tag like this. Now if I load it, you can clearly see you're getting an error because you are not having a static content being loaded on top of it, right? So loading static means you are now able to access your, this HTML file is accessible. Now it's too big. This is too big. Right, there are two options. You can go ahead and inline style it. So you can say width, right, 150 pixels. So I can say width is 150 pixels and it's style. Or the second way that you can do it, go to styles, right? And where is this, stored? It's in the hash wrapper, right? Hash wrapper, and inside header, the parent is header. And you find a tag IMG there. Now you can clearly see if I show you, inside wrapper we have header, inside header we have IMG tag. So that's what we are targeting here. Inside wrapper there is header, inside header there is an IMG tag. What do you want to do with this? have the width 150 pixels. Width is quite good, right? Don't give width and height because you have to arrange this as per the aspect ratio, right? You can have 180 pixels. If you give height and width as well, it's going to stretch the image, which is going to spoil the design or the UI of your website. So only use width or only use height. It's going to be adjusting the size as per the aspect ratio of the image. Okay, now then we can see image is coming just overlapped. So I'll say padding. I'll give image padding left of 20 pixels so that it comes 20 pixels to left. Much better. And I'll give padding top also of 20 pixels so that it comes down, it's not overlapped, and now it looks actually much better, right? If you want a text over here, you can hit BR. BR means break line, and after break line I can have small tag here and call this as Sri Nagar, right? DRESIDENCYCENT. I call this as Srinagar Residency Center. Alright, so now you're getting Srinagar Residency Center. I can say Srinagar Center to be more precise. Yeah, Srinagar Center is also coming, but yeah, we'll still have to style it. And now how do you target it? You'll say, hey, we have a main div wrapper. Inside wrapper, we have header. Inside header, we have a tag, small tag. And I'm targeting it, and I say that will you please give margin left of 30 pixels. Why giving margin left of 30 pixels? Now you can see it comes 30 pixels to this side, and you can say letter spacing of 1 pixels. I want letters to be separated by 1 pixels. Now you can see there is a letter spacing of 1 pixel. Now maybe margin left I'll give 60 pixels so that it's completely towards the left. Maybe 50 pixels will work. Yeah, absolutely good. And I can give it color because it's a foreground color, so we'll use only color. So we will say gray. So now I've given gray so that it doesn't look too attractive, or it gets merged nicely with the logo. So now this is my head section ready, and my footer section is ready of my template, and my body section is also ready. What if you want a navigation bar? You can even have a navigation bar, which is actually common. To have a common navigation bar, now what you do is you say you declare a section nav. Nav means navigation, and navigation means menu bar, and you can give it an ID. So you can say main navigation, right? So I'll just style this div main navigation. Now I can directly take it inside styling. I can say, hey, you mind if you have the width of 100% of the parent, which is the wrapper, and you mind if you have height of 50 pixels. You say no problem. And you mind if you have the background and I may choose light blue, light gray, whatever color you want to choose. So I may choose it Piru. I don't know what's Piru. Okay, it's not coming. So main navigation width is 100%, height is 50 pixels, and background is here. So I'll have to save my master page maybe. So this is my main navigation, and this is Piru background color. Yeah, now it's come, right? Now you can say this is your main navigation, and if you want some other color, right? So you can just, after writing this Piru, whatever you have written, you can just pass the mouse here and you will get this RGB color box. You can choose it from here as well. Now, for example, I want this blue color, so I may refresh and get the same blue color right here as a navigation bar. I don't want this to be overlapped. I can say margin top is going to be 30 pixels. I don't want this to be overlapped. So it comes down by 30 pixels. So 30 pixels is too much. I'll say 15 pixels. And I'll say border 1 pixels solid, and I can choose hash CC, whatever color you choose, right? Or you can pass the mouse here to choose colors of your own liking, right? And it should be actually darker than the background color, so I'll choose it a bit darker than the background color. You clearly see the border has come, but it's still overlapping from the right hand side and it's overlapping from the left hand side. That's why I'll say use only border top and use only border bottom. border bottom, border bottom,
They are agreed.
border bottom this, border top this, right? So now this your hat section is completely good. Maybe it's a bit darker, you can still choose it to be a bit lighter. I'll just go slightly a bit lighter so that, and I'll copy the same here, RGB. You know that color is combination of three colors. R, how much do you use red, how much do you use green, and how much do you use blue. So we use RGB to form almost all the colors around the globe. Right, so now this is my navigation bar, right? How do you form a navigation bar? Again, maybe it depends on how you form, but since my class is not of as that of HTML, but I'll still show you. You can go with the UL, and UL can have as many LIs as you can. First LI is going to be home, alright, and because now we have used travel guide and we're using NIT here, so we'll just target travel only. Alright, so we will say world tour package, or I'll not choose it here, so let me not use it. I'll choose home and then CONTACT contact, and then I will have another li known as about us, right? And then we will choose world tour packages. I'll choose India tour packages, right? I will choose adventure packages, right? Book a hotel, right? So I'll say make payments, whatever you want. So this is your navigation. Now the first thing that you can see right here, the navigation is coming in the line. As I have told you earlier, maybe if I have not told you, I'm telling you right now, that whenever you use UL means unordered list, right? UL means unordered list. I can choose OL means ordered. Ordered and unordered is just like we use ordered and unordered in Microsoft Office. Once I choose ordered, it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So once you use UL and LI by default has some paddings. For example, if I target directly UL, I'll say you by default you have some padding given. Will you please get rid of that? So I'll say your by default margin is going to be 0. Your by default padding is going to be 0. So all the URLs in the web page will be targeted. Now you can see padding and margin is done. And there is also UL always has li, means list item. I'll also say that list item has by default some margin and it has by default some padding. You mind if you have 0 by default. Now you can see that you are getting rid of everything. Now you can target is directly. You can say, hey, we have main navigation and there is UL inside main navigation or unordered list, which is supposed to be the menu bar. And you say, you mind if you have list style of none. The moment I say list style none, these dots should disappear. Now the dots disappear. You will say, now this thing is done. You mind if you target now li, which is inside main navigation nav. There is UL and inside UL there is li. You say li. You mind if you display yourself inline as an inline block, right? They are not inline. You can say, right, one after another, horizontal and vertical alignments, inline block. Now they are inline. Now you can clearly see that they are inline. You'll say, hey, don't mind. You mind if you give padding of 20 pixels and give some spaces. After giving padding of 20 pixels, it looks much. So I'll say 17 pixels padding is much better. Right, maybe 15 pixels is good. Right, so now there is some amount of gap. It looks like a menu bar, but still not enough. You will say text dash transform to uppercase. It is going to be converted to uppercase, and we will say font dash size is going to be, let's say 14 pixels. I choose font size to be 14 pixels or maybe 13 pixels. Right, now it's formed actually in a very good way. And I say color is going to be a bit darker. Now you can see it's gone more darker, so I'll choose a bit more darker RGB color. Now you can clearly see it's more darker. If you want to choose more darker, yes, I want to choose and I want it to be more darker. Save the file, refresh, and now you can clearly see that you're getting it. Alright, so go to the master page. These are all the details that you are getting: book a hotel, make payments. Let me just get rid of two: world tour package, adventure package, book a hotel. So that's sufficient. Go to styles and say I want letter spacing of 1 pixels here as well. So you can have letter spacing of 1 pixels here as well. You can clearly see. And I'll say I want cursor. My cursor should be pointer. Means I should have hand instead of this cursor. I should have a hand whenever I pass mouse here. Now you're getting a hand because it's supposed to be a menu bar, a navigation panel. And I can copy this. I'll say, hey, wait a second. I want second thing to happen, that whenever anyone hovers means mouse over. Whenever anyone types mouse over, that's why I've written colon hover, right? Whenever anyone types mouse over, his background adjusted is going to be, I am going to change the background color to something pretty lighter, maybe. Yeah, pretty lighter. And I am going to also change the color to a bit darker, right? So now whenever you pass mouse here, you can clearly see, let me make it darker color. Alright, so I will say hash triple C. Hash 999 means black, so you can have it black. Alright. Okay, we are resuming back. Okay, so this is just forming a normal template. So my intention is not to show you any design, but yeah, if the template is well formed, it also generates a bit of interest for students to form the exact template or maybe beautify it in much better way. Alright, you can form the same template or you can beautify it, whatever you want to do. Now let's form the template. Now this is my master page. Alright, there are sections that are going to repeat and there are sections which are not actually going to repeat at all. Right, few sections may repeat, few sections may not repeat at all. For example, I want the entire page to be used as a master page for my, let's say, about derived pages. Let me add a few more things right here. Let me go ahead and add, let's say, about in this body section, maybe in the header section. So let me go ahead and add a div. And let's call this ID as left header div. So I've given it an ID left header div. Right, and let me take it to style.css so that I can form this. I can use the same project, right, for the different things that we learn over the time in concurrent classes. And let's say width is going to be, let's keep it 400 300 pixels, and height is going to be 50 pixels, and let's just give it a background color for alignment purpose, right? So we don't intend giving any background here, but yeah, just to align it in a much proper way, we need to give alignment, right? And now I can see that it's coming here, right? And I can say that you need to float towards the right hand side, right? Float towards the right hand side because I want it to be somewhere here, right? So this is what I intend to do, floating towards the right, and it's coming in the bottom section. So I can say margin, let's give it margin minus 30 pixels. So we are giving 30 pixels margin, so now it goes here minus 30 pixels, and then say margin right 40 pixels, so I'll give 40 pixels margin right, and now it's nice, and let's give it a width of 500 pixels, right? Maybe not 500 but 400 pixels, and background color should be okay, so I'll keep it F5, F5, F5. So it's going to be very light gray. Now you can clearly see it's light gray. And you can give it border 1 pixel solid hash triple C, and I can say box dash, or we can say border dash radius 6 pixels, so that I have rounded corners. Right, so I'm forming this right here. So let's go ahead and have another navigation in here. Right, just to give you an idea. Right, so in order to give you an idea, so I can have another UL here, and I can have another LI inside UL here is login. So this is my first thing that I'm going to have here is login. Second is going to be let's say profile. I'm forming, we're just creating a platform to launch. I can say sign up, login, profile, sign up, right, and I can say feedback. We have feedback. It looks sufficient, so I'll directly go in styles, and I can say I need to utilize this left header div, and we have a UL inside the left div, and I can say list style. I don't want any list style here. I'll say list style none. So list is gone, and now I can target the LI, which is the list item inside the unordered list. I can say display just like an inline block. So now once I display them inline block, it just displays them perfectly. And let's say letter spacing, it's my favorite, 1 pixels. And let's say padding of 14 pixels, my favorite again. Padding is inside. I can clearly see we are having some more links right here, right? So let's say font size 13 pixels, right? And let me give it more padding, maybe 17 pixels. Fine, so we have few more links here, right? And I'll go to this UL and LI. I can say border dash right, I'll say 1 pixel solid, and I'll give it some color because I have to choose it. Let me choose it towards the darker side, or you can choose HTML color chooser. Now you can see it has given it some borders, right? It looks like a menu now, maybe too darker, right? So maybe it's too darker, so I'll choose something else, a bit lighter maybe. Yeah, more lighter is required perhaps, so I'll take it more lighter, right? So this is now your menu bar, and this is all right. Another menu bar, I can say cursor, pointer here as well, and I can use the hover here as well. If you want to use hover, you can use HOVER. Hover. Hover means mouse over, and I can say text dash decoration over line. So whenever I pass mouse here, so the text decoration is going to be over line. Now you can see. Right, so now the template is ready. All right, so let's go and fire the template as per what we have learned so far. Okay. Why are you making this? Because this is something that we'll be using for the entire project, right? That's why I was bound to show you this, or maybe form it in a nice manner. Still, it's not completely what I call responsive, because we are not learning. I repeat, we are actually not learning CSS and HTML here, right? We're just making a template, and now we have to make block contents, right? To just make sure that Jinja is installed. After you have installed Jinja, we will go ahead and work with the templates. Now template directory is already done, everything is formed, right? So let's go and form block contents. Okay, now this is going to be my block content, everything else will come here. All right, so this is going to be my block content. So I'll just mention scriptlets here. So I will mention block, B-L-O-C-K. Now derived page, whatever you write in the derived page will come here, and everything else will be shared. And I can use the same here. So I will say and block, B-L-O-C-K. So this is my block section, right? So this is what my derived page is going to use. Let's create the first page that we are going to use as a template. So I will create a new file. First page is going to be my home.html. And what else? What pages are you going to use more? I will say the second I'm going to use is contact. Okay, I have to rename it contact.html. The third we are going to use is about.html. The fourth is going to be login.html. The fifth is going to be regis, register.html. The sixth is going to be feedback.html. Right, feedback. So it's sufficient for now. Okay, let's go to home.html. So now we will have to actually, okay, just let me close the sea of files open here. Alright, so I'll save the settings as well. Feedback, I don't want it. Masterpage is here, so I want it. Okay, let's go to urls.py, not this URLs, but the URLs of my app that I don't want test. So whenever anyone types anything, so I'll just delete this. Alright, so whenever you type nothing, you are actually going to call a file known as home, and here you are rendering home.html, and I don't want any master page here as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and fire the main page, which is the home page right here. So now what are you going to render here is the following. We have home.html. Yes, home.html has fired. Now you're using it. Now let's go and call the master page. I will say now this page extends from a file, right, which is masterpage.html. So the moment you extend from masterpage.html, everything that's in master page should come here. We have some kind of extend, means extends, spelling mistake. Now we have to start the block and end the block. Now whatever you type here will go to that block that we have already created in the master page. So I'll say block block, right, and I'll say content block content, and I can choose it here, and block block and block and block, and this is the block content. Go to master page, yeah, block content. Let's use it like this. Again, invalid block. Which page is creating this error? And block. Okay, it's basically in the main master page. Okay, we have to use block and block. All right. हाँ, and block वहीं पर. Okay, so I'll use it again. blockcontent black. Okay, I forgot to terminate this right here like this. All right, so let's refresh it, and now you're getting everything single from the master page. All right, and now let's close down this master page. Now this is the page that you're using. Home.html will be accessed, and whatever you write here, for example, I go and open a master page right here. I will say hello from the home page. Now this hello is coming from the home page. Hello from the home page, right? And let's create hyperlinks, and let's first create URLs. So let me create all the URLs here. One is home page, another is something, 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 something. Okay, let's say whenever you type login slash, whenever you type about slash, whenever you type contact slash, whenever you type feedback slash, what else is there? Masterpage is there, feedback, contact, about. So now all the pages, so I will use views about function is being called, and here contact function will be called, and here feedback function will be called. So let me indent them in a more proper way so that they are well formed. All right, so we'll have to see whether they are well formed or not. So let me, okay, fine then. Wait a second. Alright, we had too much of disturbances today going on here, students coming and going every now and again. Okay, now let me give it, so it's going to be name is login page, and we have name is about us. So let's call this maybe contact us. So we have contact us, we have feedback, right? Feedback remains feedback, so it is what it is. And now we know that we're not able to access these files, right? And we have to create these functions, home, about, contact, feedback. So let me go and create all of them, right? All right, so home is already created. So I will go and create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe, who knows? Like, okay, now we have second one. And let me open templates to come, and this is about, so we have shabout, no shabout but about, contact, we have login, we have register, right, and we have feedback. Okay, now what do you want to render on about? I want to render about .html, contact.html. For login, I want to render log on, no log on, but login.html, and I want to render login.html, and I want to render here register, regist, register.html, and I want to render feedback.html here. And let me see whether all the URLs are nice now. Okay, fine. So let me try now. All right, so let me go and try this. Okay, we have some kind of an error right here. Views.about, maybe views.about. Yeah. Okay, we don't have comma, so we'll have to hit commas here to separate them. Fine, now we're having commas and the separation is on. Now let's go on and say about, right? We have about page. Now let's go and form each and every page here. Right, so this is my home page. So I'll copy the content here, go to about page and say hello from ABOUT, about page, save it. Go to contact page. Everything is taken from the master page. Only this block is going to come from the contact, from the derived page. So welcome to the contact page. This is about page, and I have login. So I'll say hello from the login page, and I can say hello from the register register page. So now then every single thing is done. Let's try and see about, hello from the about page, and I can say register register. VREGIS has a problem. Maybe we don't have it here in the urls.py. Yeah, we don't have it. So let me add one more here. register register is going to point to register, and I call this as sign up. Alright, so this is my register page, and I'll go to my contact. So this is my contact page, and this is my login page. Oh, login still has home. I don't know why. Maybe we forgot to overwrite it. So, well, hello from login page. Why is login showing still home? Yeah, views.home. So I'll say login. Okay, so let me try again. Hello from login page. Hello from about page. So let's give it hyperlink. I'll directly now close down everything. Now see that we have repeated the code just like anything. Right, I'll go to my master page and I'll say, hey, wait a second, this is my master page. This is something that's been repeated every now and again. I'll say that I need to add inside this or outside this li, I need to add a hyperlink, right? And whenever anyone clicks, so let me clicks over here, he is going to go, href means anchor tag, it's a hyperlink tag. Right, anyone clicking on home will go to home. So let me see. Anyone clicking on home goes to about home. So I'll have to just say /home. All right, so anyone clicking on home will go to this address. So rather than home, I'll say it goes to home address. Okay, let's see this. Right, and now if I go to about, and now if I click on home, I go to home page, right? So we'll add this hyperlink everywhere. Maybe this is contact, so I will say I want to go to /contact, right? And I'll close this anchor tag right here. Now if I click contact, I go to contact page. This is my home page. This is my contact page. Let me go and style it. If I click ABOUT, I'll go to /about page. And what I do here, I go to no, I have two packages, so I don't create. Right, so I've created login here, so I will go to, I will say /login, and I've also created this here, so I can say /regist register, close down the anchor tag, so not UL but the, what do you want to close? I want to close down the anchor tag. Okay, fine, now this form. Okay. This is my home page. Hello from home page. Hello from the contact page. Hello from the about page. Hello from the login page. Hello from, okay, I still have sign up. Where is sign up? Sign up is closed here, so I don't want to close the anchor tag here. Alright, so I'll go to sign up and hello from the register page. So profile is not there. Alright, so let's go to home page, contact page, about page, login page, profile, not profile but register page. So now you can clearly see that we've been able to form a nice master page. And let's see derived page. Now they only say this block content, they use only block content and extend everything from the master page. Right, it's going to be rendered as a single page and it's going to be given to the browser as a single page. Now you can see only this div, which is between main content section, is going to come from the derived page. Now why? Because you used block content here in this section. That means you want this much only to come from the derived page and everything else to repeat. That's what is happening. We have inherited the block content of the master page here, right? Everything but this div, everything but whatever is inside here will come from the master page, and this is from the derived page. That's why you can see that we have the repetition of content now, right? Isn't it good? I don't have to, for example, I have to add one more link. For example, if I have to add one more link, I'll go to master page, right? And I will add one more link here. I will say li, right? Test link. So I call this as test link. So now when I refresh, now I can say test link is here. Alright, so it's as simple as anything. Or I can say test. And I can see that this is here, test. I have to increase basically the, why is this dash here before the feedback? I don't get it. I don't know. Okay, we're closing down li here. Why are we closing down? href is li and we should not close down it here. Fine, so now let's see. No, after sign up we are having some problem. This is a href gets closed, then we have sign up, we close down this here, and there's some kind of a dash coming here. I don't know. You can see this. What is this here? I don't get it. What is it after sign up? Right, so you open the li here, you close. The li gets closed here, and some kind of mess. Okay, let me get rid of this test and see. We still have this dash coming. No. Yeah, this is the dash. Where is this coming from? So let me inspect element. Right click, inspect element. So ahref register, then we have sign up, and then we have feedback. I don't know. Where is this particular thing coming from? I have no idea. Now, for example, we have this feedback. I will say, right, submit feedback. Now I have changed the name as submit feedback, right? Not feedback, but feedback. Right, now you can say submit feedback is right here. All right, it's not changed. If I go to contact page, it remains the same. If I go to about page, it remains the same. If I go to home page, everything remains the same. So you don't have to add menu bar to every page. You don't have to add this header and this footer to every page, right? So it's going to be a single page, right, inherited, and each and every single web page of our web application using a single inherited page, which is the master page that we have just created, right? It's already been 56 minutes. I hope you guys have understood it very well. It's not necessary exactly to import or to download a template and then yet use it. You can create your own template and you can use your own template just like we created and we are using it, right? We use all the things. We use static path and we have used our own block content so that we can distinguish between this. So tomorrow we will be starting with login. Now let's form a true, completely object-oriented professional login design from tomorrow. We'll try and complete this login design tomorrow. Till then, I wish you all the best. Do practice very hard. And practicing is what will make you understand the syntax, because it's a mixed syntax. We will be understanding three things now. HTML, we'll be understanding Django language, and then Python, right? So it's a mixture of three things now. HTML, Java, four things rather. HTML, Java, so not four things, but five things, right? What are those five things? So first is HTML, right? And second is Python code. Third is Django. Fourth is PHP, sorry, not PHP, it's basically MySQL database, right? JavaScript, right? XML. So it will be a collection of many things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 6 almost. So, right? So do not ever take it lightly, right? Don't even take it seriously, because it's childish job. No rocket science is involved. You guys can do it and can do it more professionally than anyone else. Bye bye. Take care.